Hey guys, Cameron here. I was recently tagged by Uncle Paul over at Uncle Paul Persists on YouTube. He's in the middle of a 10-day hiking challenge for charity. He's doing 10 different day hikes in 10 days at all sorts of different places around Central and North Texas. So go over to his channel and check that out. I'll post a link to his channel down below. But about a week or two ago, he tagged me in a video about my big three. And what he did was his tent, backpack, and his entire sleep system. So I decided to do one on my shelter, backpack, and sleep system. And this is the lightest options that I have that I could come up with. I actually used this exact same setup at Guadalupe Mountains a couple years ago. Anyway, so I was going to show you my big three, and we'll talk about how light it is and just show you around what I got. All right, so to start out, my shelter is a 6 Moon Design Gatewood Cape. With the lines that I have on there, it comes in right at 12 ounces. Now they have come out with a slightly lighter version of this, but I'm definitely waiting on them to ever come out with a Cuban fiber version. I actually asked them not too long ago if they had any plans for it, and they said no plans in the immediate future. But for now, this is just a sil nylon Gatewood cape that you've seen me use on a few of my trips. It is a poncho tarp, so not only is it a shelter, it doubles as rain gear, saving weight that way. But like I said, the way I have it set up, 12 ounces, and you get a complete 360-degree rain protection whenever you set it up in mode like this. So now this is what I'd call rain mode. Got the door zip closed and the hood cinched down and tightened up. You still get plenty of airflow under there, but it's a big enough space that you can stay away from any rain that's splattering down on the outside. Anyway, most of the time I'm going to leave it opened up just like this to get plenty of airflow. All right, so dropping down inside of the shelter, that plastic sheet that's under everything is a piece of polycryo, and that weighs 1.7 ounces. It's just to keep everything clean, and if it does rain, protect my sleep system from any water that would run under the shelter. Just a super cheap, lightweight, easy to use piece of plastic, basically. So that's not 100% necessary. You don't have to have that, but I would definitely take it on all my trips. One, I'm just used to being in an enclosed space with a floor and bug net and everything, so that just helps keep things clean and up away from anything that may get on them. All right, now coming down to my lightest sleep system. Now this is the part of this big three system that I definitely change up on most trips, because just being honest, this is not really all that comfortable, especially sleep in the places that I normally go that are dry and the ground is real hard packed. But the pad there is a Gossamer Gear Thin Light 1/8 inch pad that I have had for probably 12 years now. Had it for a really long time. It hadn't worn out at all. Still looks pretty much exactly like it did whenever I got it. It provides a tiny bit of insulation from the ground and a tiny bit of comfort from the hard ground, but honestly it doesn't provide much. Sometimes I will double that up and fold it over so that it's a 1/4 inch thick and just let my legs hang on the ground. But that is my lightest sleep pad. The pillow there I got from Jacks Are Better. It is a super light pillow. It is 0.6 ounces, and it comes with a little straw that that's probably about the proudest thing ever, is that I haven't lost that straw in the 10 or 12 years that I've had that. It's a super light pillow, and it's pretty durable because I've had it this long and it hadn't had any holes, doesn't leak. It's worked out really well for me. And then the other thing is just a Costco quilt. It's the Black Diamond or Double Diamond quilt. Mine weighs 15.6 ounces, so that's pretty lightweight, and honestly I think I'm a little too big for it, but I can use it during summer or very early fall, late spring. It's not the best setup for around here because honestly during summer it's way too hot for it, and then it doesn't cover me well enough that if it actually does get real cold, that I stay warm. So there's only like a 10-degree window at night that it works perfect for. But I've just happened to hit it perfect a couple times that I've used it on trips. But that's my lightest quilt, and I could take something like a sheet or a light fleece blanket or something that may weigh slightly less, but that's the closest thing I have that's actually made for using outdoors. So my total sleep system, including the pillow, the pad, and the quilt altogether is 18.1 ounces, and that's pretty lightweight for something that'll get me down to around 50 degrees or more. So the last part of my Big 3 system, a pack that you've seen a bunch in a lot of my videos I've had for a super long time, is the Zpac Zero. They don't make this anymore. They made this out of the standard Cuban fiber. I believe they only make packs out of the hybrid material now. But this one is starting to get pretty old. It's starting to get holes in it. The top's all frayed out, but hopefully I can get another year or two out of it. The cool thing about this pack, or used to be, is that they allowed you to customize it however you wanted. And this is just pretty bare bones. I just added this mesh pocket onto the back. And then later on, I bought this shoulder strap pocket that you see in all my videos with this pack. And I just put a water bottle and a Cliff Bar or a map or things I need to get to throughout the day in here. This is a super lightweight pack, and it's held up really well. With the shoulder strap pocket, it weighs 4.2 ounces, I believe. And so the pack itself is actually under 4 ounces, 3 point something ounces. So it's a super light pack. You're not going to find many packs out there that are much lighter than this. It's really simple, but it's worked out really well for me, and I love this pack. I'll be really sad whenever this one finally dies, but hopefully I can get something else very similar to this that's, you know, under 5-6 ounces. This has been a really great pack for me, and one of the lightest options you could possibly get, and it's super cheap. At the time, I think this was less than $100, and that's the thing about almost all the super ultralight gear I have, or ultralight gear, is a lot of it's not expensive. It doesn't have to be a super expensive hobby. You don't have to buy Cuban fiber, although this is, and Z-Packs, everything. There's some really cheap options out there, and I may do a video if anybody has any interest of exactly how much my setup cost, or putting together a setup that's under, say, a few $100 or $500. You can definitely do that and be around 5 pounds, and definitely less than 10 pounds. Backpacking or ultralight backpacking doesn't have to be a super expensive hobby. Anyway, but besides that, my Zpac Zero, super awesome backpack. Loved it for years, and hopefully, like I said, get another year or two out of it. So this whole setup altogether is 34.3 ounces. That's for my backpack, the complete shelter system, and my sleep system. So that's really light, just barely over 2 pounds for all that stuff. And then from there, you can add in some other lightweight ultralight gear and get a system that's all the way down to around 5 pounds. So awesome for Texas summers, early falls, late springs, things like that, where it's not going to get super cold. It's a really cool system that I'll use once or twice a year, but definitely not something I'll use all the time, because like I said, it's not extremely comfortable, but it's pretty cool to carry around while you're hiking during the day, because it doesn't weigh hardly anything. So now's the time whenever I'm going to tag a few people in this tag, and any of you guys feel free to do your big 3, whether it's just your shelter, backpack, and sleeping bag, or you can do your shelter, backpack, and your entire sleep system. I think it's cool if you want to show the lightest options that you have, but whatever you use most of the time is awesome too. So the 3 people that I'm going to tag are the TexasHikeaholics. They have a ton of videos from everywhere. I think I've tagged them in a video before, and they have some awesome stuff all over the state and all over the country. They go on a lot of cool backpacking trips, and they're a really fun couple. So the TexasHikeaholics. Secondly, I want to tag Todd at Todd versus Todd. Todd is who I went backpacking with on the Guadalupe Ridge Trail last year. He does a lot of really cool hikes. He has a really awesome video on his channel of the Outer Mountain Loop at Big Bend. And he actually just got back from doing part of the Centennial Hiking Trail up in South Dakota. Some really pretty footage from that. So check out his channel, and hopefully Todd will do a response to this video. And lastly, I want to tag my friend Clint over at the Not Lost Nomad on YouTube. Clint has some really cool videos. He has some stuff from out at Guadalupe Mountains, some stuff from Arkansas, Colorado, all over the place. He goes on some really cool hikes. And so Clint, if you want to participate in the tag, that'd be really cool. Like I said, whether it's your lightest or just the normal 3 things you use, anything would be really cool. Love to hear y'all's responses. Everybody else, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.